talk to you today about, knowing how much that you can make in this business. Most of you probably have another job and you know exactly what you have to do to get a pay raise, or maybe you don't have any control over it. That's what's so cool about direct sales, is that you actually have control over getting more money in your pocket. So I want to kind of show you how to look at this, read your compensation plan. Now this one has got a lot of things marked on it because I figure on it all the time. I look at it all the time. But you can get this in your back office. Just go underneath Sales Tools. The very first click is Advisor Agreement and Manual. Right up underneath that you will see Compensation Plan. So you can actually print this off, and I actually suggest that you print it off. So I'm going to barrel into this because I don't want it to take too long, because I could spend a long time on this, but in the beginning you make 25% commission. So some very simple math so that you'll know how to set some goals is, if you need to make, say, or if you'd like to make $250 a month in this business, then you need to sell $250 in a week. At 25% commission, whatever you sell that week is how much you'll make that month. Now, of course, you may make some personal orders where you're not going to count that. Now, that counts towards any kind of contest that we're running, like our New York City trip contest. And this video, you may be watching this video and we have a new trip contest, but it always goes towards your contest, but you're going to make that back, your commission back at the end of the week once you enter that. But that's really not what you're actually making. Does that make sense? You see, when I first got into direct sales, I already had 2 other jobs. So I had to kind of figure out what was going to be my bottom line, can't sleep at night number. In other words, if I was going to quit those other jobs, because my husband really wanted me to. He said, I want you to be a mom, I want you to be at home. And this business, you only go out, say, 2 or 3 times a week, whether it be in the daytime or at night or meeting with somebody for lunch or whatever. And you're making really good money. You're making like full-time money. So I said, well, you know what? Because I was nervous. I was scared. I was human. I had fear that if I quit those other 2 jobs, that I wasn't going to be able to make the money I needed. So I sat down and said, okay, how much money do I bring in? Well, at that time, I was bringing in $1,000 a month. That's what I had to bring in. So I said, okay, how much do I have to sell to make that $1,000? Now, I know that sounds real elementary, but I'm really telling you things that will really help you get where you want to be with Fleur de Vie as a business, whether it be part-time or whether it be full-time. So having that bottom line, can't sleep at night number that you have to make, you really need to know that, and then keep up with it in your calendar. Okay, write down totals, circle it, highlight it. Know exactly where you're at every given week, every given day, so that at the end of the month you can say, okay, I sold X amount of dollars, so that I'm at 25% commission, so I made X amount. Now, the cool thing about this type business is your mileage, anything that you spend, even buying a calendar, supplies, Hostess, if you pick up your Hostess anything, or if you pick up something like cotton pads or alcohol or washcloths or anything that you're taking to your facials or your parties, those are all tax deductions. So you literally are the business owner here. So if you're working for somebody else, you don't get those tax deductions. But whenever you're working as a Fleur de Vie self-contracted advisor, you get those tax deductions. Now, let's go to the compensation plan. Okay, so we've established that in the beginning you're going to make 25% commission. Now, when you recruit just at least one person and you're selling $250, it says it right here. Okay, you recruit that one person, you're still going to make 25% commission. Okay, but after you recruit that one person, you're going to make 2% of that person sales. So if that person sells $1,000 in a month, you're going to make $20. Now, you may say to yourself, well, that's not much. Well, you didn't have to go with that person. You don't have to go do parties with that person. You're just going to make money off of what they sell. And that goes up the more you recruit. And that's the whole point of this video. So when you recruit And there's many ways you can recruit. You need to go look at your different videos that we have on that. If you're not a member of the V-Party page, you need to be one. You need to let me know. You need to let the office know. How you're going to do that is you're going to become my friend on Facebook, and then I'm going to add you to the V-Party page. Or if your recruiter is part of the V-Party page, she can add you to it. Okay, so if you recruit somebody, you can add them to the V-Party page. I suggest you do that because I post things all the time that will help you further your business. Okay, now, let's get to the meat of the program here. When you become a silver leader, that means you must sell at least $1,000 on your own. Okay, that's easy to do. That's $200. That's $500. No, it's not even $500 a week. That's $250 a week. That's what that is. Okay. Once you have at least 3 active players on your team, in other words, you've recruited 3 personal recruits, and all of them, plus you, are selling $4,000 together, collectively, you're going to make 4% off of your team, and another 4% off of what you've sold already. So if you're at 30%, because that puts you at 30% commission, okay, now you're going to make 34% commission. All right, let's step it up a notch. Let's say that you have those 3 active, and then probably plus, because you're really going, you know, I want to be a leader. And let me tell you something about being a leader. Instinctively, God has put in us an instinct to be a leader at some capacity, somewhere. You may be a leader in your workplace. You may be a leader just because you're a mom. You may be a leader in your church. He's instinctively put that in us. He's also instinctively put in us to have more. That's the reason why we can live abundantly. Now, I'm not talking about greed here. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being so blessed that you're able to bless others. Now, are you today worried about your finances? Are you today going, you know, I always am thinking about how I'm going to pay this bill, or I'm living on a budget. Now, there's nothing wrong with living on a budget. I think you should be good stewards of your money always, okay? But instinctively, you should want more. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is more, okay? But you got to want it. You got to go for it, and you got to learn it. Okay, once you've got those 3 active people and you're selling at least $1,000 yourself, and your team together with your $1,000 collectively are selling $6,000, well, now you're going to make 35% off of your personal sales, okay? And then you're going to make another 6% off of your team sales. So now, instead of making 35%, you're really making 35 plus 6, sorry, gotta do the math, I'm so simple-headed, that's 41%. That's almost 50%. Quite frankly, I did a little math on some things lately. Did you know that even if you made 50% just on your sales alone, that when you begin to recruit people and that team begins to build, you're gonna make more for doing less. That's the key here, right? That's the key. But don't forget too that right down here we have some bonuses that really up your commission. When you do 8 parties in a month and you are at least a silver leader, this is just for leaders, you are able to get a $100 bonus. If you do 12 parties, you get a $150 bonus. If you do 15 parties, you get a $200 bonus. That in turn ups your commission really up, way on up to 50%. Just because you're out there working, we're going to pay you more. Now, when you release kits on your team, now this is your team, this is not just you, but if you and your team, say you and you've got 3 other people on your team, and let's say one of them's name is Tammy. Let's say you released a kit and Tammy released 2 kits. Guess what? You, as a leader, not Tammy, are going to get a $60 bonus that month. I'll be honest with you. Know your commission rates. Just for selling $1,000 personally and having a $6,000 team plus that, you're going to end up making that month with the minimum bonuses on the recruiting and the shows, $870. That's just for going out 2 nights a week or 2 days a week. You know, the money that you can make from a direct sales business is more than you could ever make from a job that you go and just put your time in. So know your compensation plan. If you need some help with it, I am more than willing to help you understand that compensation plan. And you know what? We would love for you to be a leader, and we would love for you to make this money, and we would love for you to win all the contests that we run as well. Thank you for listening to this, and I hope to hear from you.